Irland ist er 2009 bei der PDC mit dabei und hat sich in diesem Jahr für die WM qualifizieren können. Es war seine erste Weltmeisterschaft im Alexandra Palace. Die Rede ist vom Magpie Willie O'Connor. Willie O'Connor fordert die Nummer 36 der Welt heraus. Er ist der aktuelle World Youth Champion. Er hat im Ali Pally es bis ins Viertelfinale geschafft. Aus Belgien, der Dreammaker Dimitri van den Bergh. Das Match wird gecallt von the puppy George Noble.
Well, Dimitri van den Bergh with his trademark dance onto the stage. Willie O'Connor tried something, well, not similar really. Brought the young Belgian, produced the World Youth Champion, looking to make his mark on the Euro Tour in 2018. But we've seen one Irishman put in a fantastic performance. Steve Lennon beat Robert Thornton 6-0. Can Willie O'Connor, the Magpie, join him in the second round? I'm Chris Murphy. Dan Dawson rejoins me in the commentary box.
Well, Chris, when was the last time you remember two Irish darts players making the second round of a European tour?
I can't remember.
You can't remember?
Such a time.
Do you think it's happened?
Probably not.
Well, I mean, I was hoping you'd like me, because I don't know. But I'm not sure it's happened. Nick McGowan's the obvious other candidate, and we have seen him win on the European tour in the past, but to my knowledge, I don't think we've seen him do it at the same time as either Steve Lennon or Willie O'Connor. I think it's probably going to be those two at the World Cup of Darts, because Steve Lennon's rise has been such that he's moving up the rankings into the top 64. His tour card's going to be safe at the end of the year. Willie O'Connor just seems to have gone through into a new phase of his career from the back end of last year when he changed his throw. Won the Tom Kirby that week at the Grand Prix.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned the World Cup of Darts because, of course, Dimitri van den Bergh set to replace
William to throw first. Game on.
Ronnie Huybrechts in the Belgian pair in 2. We saw Ronnie depart at the hands of Luke Humphries, and we've mentioned a few players. Zoran Lurchbacher we saw earlier on set to join Mensa Suljovic. It'll be interesting to see the pairings when they're announced. Imminent, that announcement, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think we've got just under a month for the top teams to establish, because they're going to go on the ranking, or we think they are. We already know that there are some ones that are up in the air, but we shall see. It'll be an interesting World Cup this year. Again, played here in Germany. And I'll tell you what, that German team's going to be interesting. With Max Hopp playing as he is, if that continues over the next few weeks, we know that Max and Martin Schindler, we assume that's going to be the team, they seem to bring out something in each other. They're good mates. They're only 4 days apart in age. And they've had runs at the World Cup before. And I just think that it's shaping up to be a really interesting tournament already. We don't even know the teams.
58. 140.
Dimitri Van den Bergh. He has had a little bit of success on the tour this year. He's had one quarter-final. That's to back up that incredible run to the quarter-finals of the World Championship, which just catapulted him up the rankings. £40,000 in prize money won at Ali Pali by Dimitri Van den Bergh. Did make a quarter-final in Milton Keynes, but more importantly for Dimitri, if you're looking at a guide to his form, go and look at the stats. I'll come back to that in a moment, because both these guys on finishes in the opening leg here.
O'Connor on a huge one that he's not going to take out. So Van den Bergh requires
60.
Just one treble
Dimitri require 107.
to clean at 107 and grab an early break. But let's see how good he is before you tell us how good he is.
75. William, you require 92.
They might come back. Might not. Ball.
62.
High.
Dimitri, you require 32.
From Willie O'Connor. 3 darts at double 16. It's a target that Dimitri does like. And that he does
Shot
pin.
in the first leg.
Break of throw.
Dimitri Van den Bergh.
1-0. So yeah, I said look at the stats, and this is one of the
Second leg,
bonuses
Dimitri
we've got
first.
this year with the
Game
Dark
on.
Connect system being introduced on the Pro Tour. Previously, of course, you could go and look at where they've all come and how much money they've picked up, how many quarterfinals and things they've
99.
made, how many titles they've won. You could do that before, but now you've got some granularity in those stats, in their averages, whether they've been beaten early doors by somebody playing unreal stuff. And like we said, look at, for example, Rob Cross, who lost first round, the first 3 Pro Tour events we had this year, and people going, he's a one-season wonder. Well, he was still averaging over 100 over those 3 games. He just ran into some
94.
top performances, as we know is very possible in the Pro Tour events. And lo and behold, he's come good and he's winning games left, right and centre in the Premier League. But Dimitri, when you look at the 8 Players' Championship events that we've had this year, he is in the top 10 out of all the players in terms of the overall average. Dimitri Van den Bergh is averaging 96.24. Now, that is very, very impressive. 4 times this year he's already broken the 100 mark. Wins over the likes of Adrian Lewis, Michael Smith, Gerwyn Price, Adrian Lewis again.
57.
He's had 1 quarter-final run there, so, you know, 1 quarter-final for a guy who's actually number 8. You know, if you're number 8 in the averages, you kind of expected to be making quarter-finals most of the time.
Yeah, it suggested it might just be a slight lack of rub of the green that stopped Dimitri progressing further, because I think that each of the 7 players above him have at least made a final this year on tour.
It's a very good stat if that's true.
28.
And you are
Dimitri,
completely
you
right.
require 74.
74 to double his lead. 20 for tops. Can be awkward, these ones sometimes, particularly when you put it bang in the middle.
54.
We saw from the camera angle there, he had more to aim at than I first thought. When I saw him stepping that way, I wondered why he was going that part, but it was about half and half.
57. Dimitri, you require 20.
Double 10 to double his lead. Yep, no drama about this so far.
Dimitri Van den Bergh. I think William to throw first.
And we are seeing the young guns rise to the occasion this evening.
Well, Alan Tabbin.
Well, let's just skip. That was a sort of very late afternoon.
100.
Luke Humphrey, Steve Lennon, Max Hopp.
Oh, yeah.
Dimitri Van den Bergh.
180.
Now, Dimmy, over the last 6 months or so, where he seems to have gone to another level, is hitting a lot of 3 treble visits. And they're not necessarily 180s, there are lots of 174s and things in there. Ooh. Bit of a snarl. I thought he was going to switch there, to be honest, because that's a little bit low in the bed, but he shows it's quite at home sliding in alongside it.
There's a video that went viral from an exhibition down under, wasn't it? Did he see off Phil Taylor with a 10-darter on the bullseye? But again, we talked of the likes of Max Top. He's got
60.
the lot, hasn't he? He's got everything that you want for a future ambassador, let alone sort of champion of this game. He's got his little swagger, his dance onto the stage, very level-headed, sensible young man.
Yeah, good image, clean-cut young man.
99.
Beats the heck out of the stateless commentators. Didn't he just criticise you before he went on stage for having old man's hair? Double 20. Double 18. Ah.
Shot in the third leg.
I was hoping to get him back, but there's not much to criticise in this performance from Dimitri Van den Bergh.
Dimitri to throw first. Game on.
I'll find something. But that dart was rubbish.
Well, Willie O'Connor trailing by 25 points in the averages right now. Okay, just come down a little bit with that visit of 60. Dimitri was at 102 for a moment there. But it's just not happening for the Magpie right now. Willie does have a good record against Dimitri, and in fact, he's won their last two meetings, and they weren't ages ago. It was August and September last year, and that's sort of when Dimitri was starting to become the player that we saw at the World Championship. You know, it went on to become World Youth Champion, made the quarterfinals of the Worlds, and came very, very close to what would have been an incredible comeback victory against the eventual champion Rob Cross.
Yeah, went for a little spell, didn't he, of superb performance. There was one at the World Series as well, where he put in a fantastic display.
Back-to-back ton averages, and there was one win against Raymond van Barneveld there, and it was littered with 174s and 177s, just big, big scores.
And winning that match prevented him from going to the final development tour event, didn't it?
Which then cost him the development tour Order of Merit championship, if you will. Stolen away from him by Luke Humphries, who's underlined how good a player he is. And you might not have, you know, people might have dismissed about, and they still do, dismiss the development ties. It's kiddies darts, it's not proper stuff. Well, can you imagine Luke Humphries and Dimitri Van den Bergh, who haven't suddenly become better players, they've been working towards this stage, head to head, weekend after weekend, taking titles off each other on the development tour. That is proper darts that we're seeing.
140.
And it wasn't just those two that were picking up titles.
Well, Dimmy's poised if this doesn't go.
77.
And the chance
If you require 85.
of Willie O'Connor in this match and in this tournament could well be going, because Van den Bergh wants 85 for a 4-0 lead, and he's got two darts at tops. Willie O'Connor looks resigned to defeat in the background there.
Shouldn't be just yet.
65. William, you require 36.
Because this is for a breaker throw.
A shot to the full flag, William O'Connor. Fifth flag, William to throw first. Game on.
Well, two darts missed for 4-0. And it can all change very quickly.
It might be changing. Diogo Portela there, the Brazilian.
Portela opted to play in the European qualifiers.
Yeah, that was by virtue of trying to get his tour card through the European Q school. So you do that, then you play in the Euro
96.
qualifiers. He has said, I had a chat with him, he was saying he might re-evaluate that next year. He wasn't quite sure whether it was the right move or not. Obviously it didn't pay off, but then again, Diogo Portela is an absolute black belt
60.
Kung Fu master at gloriously missing out on things.
Well, of course, keeping that trend going, he was beaten in the final qualifying match, losing out 6-4 to Danny Noppert.
58.
Had seen off former Lakeside world champion Christian Kiss in the previous round. Bergh, he beat
23.
Dirk van Dijvenbode in his decisive match.
67.
Treble 19. So a 167 earlier on.
139.
Magnificent taken out. A match-winning shot by Steve Lennon, the other Irish contender at the German Darts Open here.
100. Will you require 28?
Double 14s cut the gap to just one leg.
Game short to the fifth leg. William O'Connor. Fifth leg Dimitri to throw.
Looks like he's
first.
settled down a little bit now. Willie's won the last 2 legs in 29 darts. I mentioned the development tour.
100.
Dimitri's brother, Vianney, is actually starting his PDC career this weekend at the development tour. His younger brother, I think he's only 18 years old, Vianney. Yet another young
140.
Belgian talent, potentially. Plenty of them out there.
Willie O'Connor had a scalp of his own
140.
in qualifying for this event. Beat Stephen Bunting in his decisive match. Seen off Matt Padgett and Ross 12 before then. But Bunting's a man that's been in good form of late too.
Yeah, that is a
140.
good win nowadays, because Stephen Bunting, I think, if you're looking at players who may go on and do some damage, win a title this year, who haven't done so yet,
140.
and there aren't many who've won titles this year, I think Stephen Bunting is a very realistic candidate. Playing some really good darts at the minute as the bullet. Has been for a while.
Yeah, reached a final towards the back end of
91.
last year, didn't he, in Dublin?
121.
Beaten by Mensa Suljevic. Now 1-2-1. There's the ball route first.
Now, I don't understand that.
William
The old bull first for the 1-2-1. I understand this. I understand this very well. Very well indeed. 130 checkout. 3 legs on the spin. Willie O'Connor on the charge.
William to throw first. Game on.
Well, what I and darts fans and perhaps many darts players never understand is how he could be so accurate with a dart at the ball and then one at the treble and be so far away for that
60.
attempt at double 16.
Oh, look at that. 41 darts. Win 3 legs.
139.
Yep, and wiped out that 3-leg advantage that Dimitri van den Bergh had earned himself.
There's
still a gap in the averages there, but the thing is, Willie was absolutely nowhere for the first 3 legs. I mean, he was averaging in the mid-70s.
Yeah, and Dimitri missed 2 darts to go 4-0 up. He'd done nothing wrong until that point.
$140.
Yeah, a big finish can change a match. We saw it with Luke Humphries earlier on. Hybrex was right with him until he took out the 145. Now what's going on here?
63.
Well recovered.
$95.
That's not clear thinking from the Magpie, because he was just an autopilot there, just hammering away, trying to hit the treble 20, and the single 20 has cost him.
51.
In the end, it's not cost him a lot because Dimitri's not down to a finish, but had he done so, then Willie, all he could do here is set this up, which he can do it very well, but Dimitri could have been returning for a chance to win the leg with Willie just completely taking himself out for a visit.
Van den Bergh looking for a 140 to apply the pressure. And that's not really enough to do that.
68.
For a chance. Troy O'Connor to completely turn the match on its head.
8 or 16s. Double 16.
52. Dimitri, you require 120.
Well, the bonus is that Dimitri stayed straight in that last visit, which means that this is very gettable, and it's just got a whole lot more gettable. He moves left, he moves right, he looks at the top of the board, and he pins it.
In the 7th player, Dimitri van der Bergh.
A rock stopper.
Yeah, 1-2-0 in response to the 1-3-0.
Dimitri to throw first. Game on.
And it hands the advantage back to Van den Bergh. Yeah, going to see another informed player coming up next, Nathan Aspinall, taking on Paul Nicholson.
134.
Who's making a bit of a regular thing about appearing on the stage at these European Tour events.
97.
Yeah, undergoing a bit of a renaissance is the asset, or as I believe he's going by the moniker in Germany, Das Kapital. It's German.
140.
Got it on his shirt. Great leg of darts this from Dimitri van den Bergh.
It's a fantastic response, having seen that 3-0 lead cancelled out by O'Connor. Van den Bergh just wrestled back the initiative. You look at Bullseye. Now he wants tops. Really clean stuff. Fantastic stuff from Van den Bergh, who now has forced Willie O'Connor into another 3-leg surge.
100.
Yeah, well, having lost 3 legs on the spin, seen Willie miss a dart for a 4th, but he's fired in back-to-back checkouts of 120 and 82, both on double top. Oh, he's back in the ones.
25.
But he's been playing at this sort of level throughout the game. Willie raised his game for 3 legs, for 3.5 really. I mean, he could have won 4 on the spin. But Dimitri's just been going along at this sort of 96, 97 average, which is what he's been doing on the Pro Tour. It's no surprise to see Dimitri playing at this level right the way through the game. But at the minute, it's just a little bit too much for Willie O'Connor, who's in the low 90s, which is kind of what we've seen from him over the course of the Pro Tour. So the only thing that suggested that O'Connor might have had a very good chance of claiming a victory here was his head-to-head record against Dimitri, where he's 4 wins out of 7 games, including the last 2.
Well, if Van den Bergh can get over the line, he would earn himself a rematch with Rob Cross.
140.
Won't have the same significance, but I'm sure he's been waiting for another pop at Rob Cross because he really had chances.
140.
Well, it seemed pretty much every game that Rob Cross played at the World Championship was a belter, but that really was. Oh my. Oh mercy. Mercy, 140 for the 2nd time tonight. We see a massive checkout to seal the deal, and Dimitri van den Bergh claims a 6-3 win. He averages right up there in the high 90s, but look at the checkouts in that game. A 130 for Willie O'Connor looked to have put him in charge of the match.
but 120, 121 and a 140 to finish it from Dimitri van den Bergh. And we do have our rematch from the World Championship. It's the World Youth Champion Dimitri van den Bergh against the World Champion Rob Cross for a place in the last 16. Dimmy will be back tomorrow. We'll grab a quick couple of words with him, and then we're going to move on with the Asset and the Asp clashing here in Saarbrücken for the German Darts Open.
98. Ist nicht schlecht, nee. Das Schöne ist, dass Dimitri richtig gut Deutsch spricht. Er tut immer so. Dimitri, gratuliere dir. Das war so ein Auf und Ab. 3-0 geführt, 3-3. Da dachte man, jetzt wird's eng und plötzlich dann abgesetzt und 140 Punkte gecheckt am Ende.
Ja, also bei mir im Kopf war es immer positiv bleiben. Mit Versuchen kann man nur gewinnen. Klappt es ja nicht, ja, leider, dann ist es so. Aber man versucht bis das Ende, und wenn das Ende das Positive ist für dich, dann nehme ich es mit zu der nächsten Runde.
Dimitri, wie war das bei dir? Ende letzten Jahres World Youth Champion geworden, eine wunderbare WM gespielt, Viertelfinale, dann warst du in Australien. Wie war die Zeit in Australien mit Phil Taylor?
Die war mega. Also für alle hier drinnen, wenn du euch mal die Chance geben kannst, um Australien zu gehen, das Land ist wunderschön und du wirst da auf jeden Fall eine geile Zeit haben, auf jeden Fall. Und ja, mit Taylor, ich habe ihm mal ein bisschen auf die Ohren geschlagen in einer Exhibition, ein 10-Dart auf der Bull-Finish zum Spiel zu gewinnen. Und er sagt so, das war nicht schlecht, aber weißt du, in meiner Zeit habe ich auch schon mal gemacht. Ich sage trotzdem, danke Phil.
Wie ist Phil Taylor? Ist er entspannt? Genießt er die Zeit?
Ja, auf jeden Fall. Er vermisst es auch gar nicht, um die ganze Zeit unterdrückt zu spielen. Jetzt spielt er überall. Er ist in Neuseeland, er ist in Dakar, in Australien, überall die Welt. Und er macht Spaß. Und das sieht man auch an ihm. Und das habe ich mit ihm auch erlebt in Australien im Januar.
Wie ist deine Form aktuell? Hast dich für die ersten beiden European Tour Events, bin ich jetzt richtig, hast du dich nicht qualifizieren können? Eine von den zwei warst du dabei, okay. Hast du die Form halten können aus dem Ende des Jahres 2017?
Nee, das nicht. Also die Monate in Australien war nicht nur schwer, um meine Praxis zu bringen, also mein Trainiere immer das Gleiche zu machen, aber auch es war schwer für meine Familie, einen ganzen Monat weg zu sein und ja, meine kleine Bruder gar nicht sehen zu können. Also das war schwer, und dann, wenn ich wieder hier gekommen bin, dann war es der UK Open Qualifier, ein Turnier, wo ich mich noch nie qualifizieren könnte, und dieses Jahr habe ich es geschafft. Also Schritt bei Schritt, kleine Sachen, und ja, ich komme da, und im Moment bin ich auf den Rangliste der 6. höchste Spieler mit den Average. Also ich habe 96 Punkte, ich weiß nicht, 87 oder so, und das ist das 6. höchste, was mich komplett überrascht, aber dann denke ich, was ich mache, mache ich gut.
Das finden wir auch. Wir sehen dich morgen wieder. Dimitri, vielen Dank. Der Dreammaker, Dimitri van den Bergh, ist doch